Welcome to another edition of Mike on MMA, and today I'm going to be talking about UFC 156. Now, all around, this was a decent event. I mean, there was a few slow spots, but then there was a few really high spots, so, well, mostly good. The first fight was Joseph Benavidez against Ian McCall, Uncle Creepy, and this was a very close fight. They back and forth. I mean, these guys are so fast because, I mean, they're 125-pounders, so it's almost like watching two little 12-year-olds beat each other up, but with tattoos and facial hair. But yeah, because they're just little guys, just a little guy. But anyways, it was back and forth. There's a couple nut shots. Actually, there's quite a bit of nut shots. It was pretty funny. Uncle Creepy kept smiling every time he was getting hit good. It didn't matter, but Joseph Benavidez ended up on top. That's who I picked. But, yeah, that was a really good fight. And, yeah. The second fight was John Fitch and Damian Maia. Now, I picked John Fitch, but Damian Maia, coming down from 185, he's the bigger fighter. He pretty much took Fitch down the whole time and just held him there. Now, I know Maia is a very well-decorated Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist. He tried to submit him, but let's face it, he basically wrestle-fucked him. He just held him down on the ground and just held him down on the ground. He tried for a couple submissions, I give him that, but most of it was nothing. It was 15 minutes of nothing. So, yeah, that was a pretty boring fight, but what are you going to do? And then coming up third was one of the fights I was really looking forward to. I got a cat here. He keeps always wanting to get in on these. Midnight. His name's Midnight. Third fight was Alistair Overeem against Antonio Bigfoot Silva. Now, the Reem has been talking a lot of shit. He was talking a lot of shit before this. He told Bigfoot that he was going to fucking destroy him at the press conference. And, Reem had about a year off. I think it was actually 9 months, but he had about a year off or so. And due to steroid use, and he obviously was not on steroids this time, he looked a little bit doughy. Just a little bit. He was still buff. Don't get me wrong. He was still big and ripped, but he wasn't the Reem that fought Brock Lesnar. Now, he won, I'd say, the first 2 rounds. Now, the third round, Bigfoot, he got onto a good flurry, and man, did he KO Alistair Overeem. He KO'd him so bad, like to the point where the last few hits, I was like, he just needs to fall. He's out on his feet. Like, he was just like I think Bigfoot was actually holding him up, probably so he could hit him more, but man, did he get messed up. Probably shouldn't have talked so much shit. He probably should have respected Bigfoot a little bit more. Just like Bigfoot said, you better respect me. And then we got the co-main event, which was Rashad Evans against Lil Nog. Rogerio, I think that's it. Rogerio Nogueira. I never know how to say it. Brazilian names are ridiculous because ours are like H's. Oh, that's what it is. Rogerio Nogueira. Man, it's so confusing. But anyways, this fight I thought would have been, pretty much like a stand-up or Evans would be pulling him down and wrestling, but they tried to kind of box each other, but it really wasn't. They weren't doing much. For the longest time, it looked like they were just playing patty cake, just like Joe Rogan said, but they were sitting there just touching each other's palms. I understand feeling out so you could wind up, but they never did the wind up and threw a punch. It was probably one of the most boring fights like that. They should have got, instead of getting 10, like somebody getting a 10 per the round, they should have each gotten 8s. It should have been 8-7. Because that was a boring fight, and they didn't do much. They must have respected each other's stand-up a little too much and just didn't do anything. And then you go down to the main event, which was a super fight, at 145 for the title. Champion, Jose Aldo. Which, that's another thing that I don't understand. He's Brazilian, so it's not Jose, it's Jose. But whatever. Against Frankie Edgar. I chose Aldo. And this was a war. I'd say the first 2 rounds went to... No, I'd say the first 3 rounds went to Aldo. Because he was kicking the hell out of Edgar. Like his left knee on the outside was purple. Oh my god, it looked so bad, and his eye was all swollen up, and he couldn't really open it. There's some blood coming out, and he beat the hell out of him. But come round 4 and round 5, actually really at the end of round 3, he was starting to come back, but round 4, round 5, he was definitely the aggressor. It's where, his cardio really kicked in then, and he definitely won round 4 and round 5. He did great. It was an awesome fight. Aldo still won. I don't think there's very many people that would even be able to beat Aldo. The only people that are going to be able to beat Aldo is people coming down from 155, but they need to be bigger. Frankie Edgar came down from 155, but he's not very big. He was still smaller than Aldo, so... there's talks of Pettis moving down to 145 to face Aldo. I think Pettis could possibly beat him because he's got great leg kicks. He's got great head kicks. He's fast. He's strong. Maybe. You never know. But who knows what's going to happen. It's up in the air. Anything can happen. But, yeah, I guess that's about it for today. No, I don't need to add any predictions on the end of this one because finally there's no UFC event next week. But that means next week I'll give you my predictions for the following week. All right, well, I'll see you guys later.